What's up everybody, I'm Duncan Deep and welcome to my ultimate guide for Blacephalon. The Ultimate Guide series is a series where I cover different Pokemon and tell you how to use them in singles, VGC, and then my own format which is free-for-alls. Blacephalon is an incredibly powerful Pokemon with 151 base special attack and 127 base attack, and it's a decent speed at 107. Unfortunately, its defenses are absolutely terrible, and its HP is just as bad. This makes it a complete glass cannon. Unfortunately, while it is quite fast, its speed is incredibly awkward. It's outsped by key threats in both VGC and singles, like Terrakion, Kartana, which now gets access to Knockoff, Gengar, Mega Metagross, Tapu Koko, and Greninja. Its Fire and Ghost typing are decent offensively, giving it good stab coverage, but it's a very poor defensive typing. Especially the ground and rock weaknesses leave it weak to both Stealth Rock and the ever-present 1000 arrow spam from Zygarde in singles, and Landorus is a massive threat in VGC, and it almost always carries both Rock Slide and Earthquake. Combined with its poor defenses, this Pokemon has almost no lasting power at all. Blacephalon's move pool is average at best, but it does have access to one incredibly powerful signature move called Mind Blown. Mind Blown is a base 150 power fire move. It is a spread move that hits all adjacent Pokemon. Unfortunately for VGC, it doesn't just hit your opponents, and it will take off half of Blacephalon's maximum HP. So it is important to note that every single set in this guide, Blacephalon will have an odd HP number so that it can unleash Mind Blown 3 times rather than 2. We have 3 sets for singles. The first is Choice Specs. It's very strong with Choice Specs, and it's got the potential to easily KO 2 to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon if they don't have a faster answer, which they can get in safely. Mind Blown is your go-to move in this set. Even bulky Pokemon that resist it will take a chunk of damage switching in. Assault Vest Landorus takes more than 50% from Mind Blown from this set. Psyshock lets you deal with special walls like Sylveon or Chansey, and Shadow Ball is excellent coverage. Flamethrower is there to have a stab move that doesn't cost you half your HP when you use it, but you could consider dropping Flamethrower for HP Ice if you want more coverage against Zygarde and Landorus. Next up, we have the Choice Scarf set. This is almost exactly the same as Specs, but you trade a lot of your power for speed. This set outspeeds many of the threats that previously would have easily dealt with Blacephalon, and can OHKO a lot of them. You're still going to need to look out for other Scarfers, especially Scarf Gengar and Terrakion, and remember that before your first boost, you may not be able to knock out all the Pokemon that you could with the Spec set. Our third and final singles set is going to be my favorite set personally, and that is my Flame Charge set. If you can get Blacephalon into a situation where it can revenge kill a Pokemon with Flame Charge with its respectable 127 attack stat, you will end up at +1 speed and +1 special attack. At that point, Blacephalon's decent coverage and massive special attack stat will come into play, and it will leave it in a situation where it can sweep a lot of the time. If you force an opponent to switch with a Flame Charge, it can sometimes be less optimal than killing them in revenge, but it can often still work out, as many opponents will be expecting a choice set, and then you can still pick up a KO or 2. Normally in these guides, I won't be mentioning singles partners because I think singles team building, it's so important to build an entire team that is coherent and works with your playstyle. But for this Pokemon, I do want to mention the massive benefits Blacephalon gets from Psychic Terrain. He is so weak defensively that many Pokemon can knock him out incredibly quickly with priority moves. Think Huge Power Asmaril Aqua Jet. If you have a Tapu Lele on your team, putting up Psychic Terrain, it will protect Blacephalon with its decent speed from those priority moves, allowing it to more easily sweep teams. Moving on to VGC, we encounter many of the same issues we had with Blacephalon in singles. Its awkward speed puts it slower than many of the big threats in VGC 18, and because of this, I'm not sure he's actually a great choice in this format, but I am hoping to be proven wrong. In my opinion, you need to either be running Blacephalon with a huge amount of speed control, or he has to be Scarfed. Starting off with the more simple Scarf set, we're going to jump into this. Unlike most Pokemon in VGC, Blacephalon needs all the EVs it can get in its speed stat. We're running it max speed and timid because with a Choice Scarf at this speed, it will just outspeed a +1 speed neutral nature Mega Salamence. It will outspeed a Ludicolo in the rain, a Scarf Garchomp, and a Scarf Lele. All important Pokemon to outspeed. Mind Blown is especially difficult to play with in VGC. It not only sacrifices half your HP, but also it does hit all adjacent Pokemon. Because of this, I think it's important to run both Mind Blown and Flamethrower in VGC. For coverage, we're using Shadow Ball and HP Ground. Shadow Ball is a relatively strong stab move, which allows our Ultra Beast to do damage to threats that would otherwise be unfazed by it, and HP Ground is basically there for Heatran. Heatran is not only immune to Mind Blown, but will also get a boost from it, so I think it's important to have a way to deal with it. Most Heatrans will take about 90% at neutral from HP Ground from Blacephalon, and if you are at +1 because you've already got a kill somehow with HP Ground, Heatran will go down immediately. The strength of Mind Blown and the fact that you can get a beast boost from knocking out your own Pokemon does mean that sometimes hitting your own Pokemon isn't too much of an issue. If your opponent doesn't have a good answer to Scarf Blacephalon, and you get a Mind Blown off turn 1, knocking out your own Pokemon and both of your opponents, you have just left yourself +1 Pokemon on your opponent, but you also have a Blacephalon on the field with +3 special attack. One of my favorite techs here is to hit a protecting opponent with Feint from my Pokemon and then knock out all 3 Pokemon on the field, giving myself a massive boost and putting myself in a very strong position. With enough speed control, a Scarf is not required to run this Ultra Beast. For our next set, we are running a beast that requires a lot more speed control on your team, things like Tailwind or Prankster T-Wave. That support will easily allow this Firium Z set to put in a lot of work. With this set, we're relying on Inferno Overdrive as our single target fire move, and we're dropping Flamethrower for Protect. In this format, I think HP Ground is too important on Blacephalon for dealing with Heatran, so we cannot drop that. This set runs almost the same as Scarf, but it does sacrifice speed for versatility. It requires much more careful play and much more careful team building, but it can be a lot more rewarding. When it comes to partners in VGC, Blacephalon really shows how awkward of a mon he is to build around. Again, I think he shines in Psychic Terrain, so Lele is a great partner in my opinion. Do keep in mind that this will prevent you from using the Feint tech on opponents, but the advantages provided by Immunity Priority are definitely worth it. Blacephalon also pairs decently with your own Heatran because you do give it a Flash Fire boost while blowing up both opposing Pokemon, but it also doubles up on your Fire types and on your ground weaknesses. It can also leave your team too slow to deal with an overwhelming weakness to Landorus Therian, and with this pairing you might want to switch HP Ground for HP Ice in order to hit those Lando Ts a little harder. While this can help against Z Crystal Landoruses, it really does suffer against the Assault Vest and Scarf variants. Your own Landorus T can also be a good partner, either with an Assault Vest to take less damage from your own Mind Blowns, or with a Scarf to try and create opportunities with Rock Slides and dealing with opposing Heatran. Just remember that if you Earthquake with your Landorus, your Blacephalon is going to be obliterated. Finally, it's time to have a bit more fun with this Pokemon. In Free-for-Alls, Blacephalon has a real chance to shine. His signature move, Mind Blown, seems tailor-made for the format, and the political nature of Free-for-Alls can make his lower defenses less important if you're good at convincing people not to hit you. The set I'm showing off here is just one of many potential sets for this mon, but I think it's a really good and fun set. First things first, Protect is a required move on a Pokemon this fragile in Free-for-Alls. It also lets you make false Protect claims later on while setting up Calm Minds or hitting everyone with a huge Mind Blown. Calm Mind is there to give you a nice special attack and actually a relevant special defense boost, while also staying neutral in the free-for-all and not upsetting anybody that you can't yet OHKO. And once you can OHKO everybody, Mind Blown is going to blow them up at +1/+2 special attack. Shadow Ball is literally just there for coverage, but the main point of this set is to unleash Mind Blown after Mind Blown. After 2 of them, your HP will be down to 1, proccing your Agawaf Berry and putting you back above half HP. This will let you nuke the field twice more. If your opponents survive all of this, that's really not a problem, since you still have 2 more Pokemon in the back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that this guide helped you out. If you have any suggestions for any sets of this Pokemon in any of the formats I covered, VGC, Singles, or Free-for-Alls, please do let me know in the comments down below. We all know that Pokemon metagames are constantly evolving, and while these sets seem good for now, they might not be good in future metagames, so I'd love to see what sets you guys come up with in order to adapt as the metagame changes. Also, please let me know down below with any Pokemon that you would like to see guides of in the future. I hope this guide helped you out. I hope you guys enjoy your competitive Pokemon, and I'll see you all next time. Alright then guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, you can click up here to see more videos of this type on my channel. If you want to check out something else a little bit different, then you can click down here. And if you want to see everything that I upload, you can click the subscribe button right here.